Shalom YouTube, back here to do another video. In this video I'm going to talk about the power of the tongue. We use this particular power every day when we wake up, when we going throughout our day, when we're at our job, when we're at school, when we're going through our daily routines. Not knowing that when we talk, when we say certain things, it can speak life into existence, or it can speak death into existence. Power is in the tongue. This is a type of thing that all of us know, but then a lot of us still choose to not use our tongue to speak life. A lot of us are using our tongue to speak death. A lot of us are using our tongue to not speak to our situations. A lot of us, when we get sick, first thing we try to do is go take some medicine. But if we only knew that we have the power to speak over our healing and tell that sickness to go away, we would be powerful in that sense. We would be powerful because we know that we don't depend on this world so much. See, a world is only a system of doing things. You have God's world and God's way of doing things, and then you have man's world and man's way of doing things. God's way of doing things is simple. It isn't hard at all. Some of y'all are wondering, what do you mean? What do you mean doing things God's way is hard or it's easy? I mean, what do you mean that God's way of doing things is easy? You activate God's way of doing things unknowingly on a daily basis when you speak, whether you speak positive or negative. When you speak negative over things that's going on in your life, it will manifest. And this sounds like I'm saying some law of attraction stuff, but the real truth about that stuff is it all goes back to the power of the tongue. Now I'm gonna talk real slow in this video because I want y'all to understand this. See, Satan took the power of the tongue and re-edited and rewired it and called it the law of attraction. But all this stuff that they coming up with nowadays, it all comes from the Bible. See, law of attraction came from the Bible with that verse of saying life and death is in the power of the tongue. It all comes from that. But see, once again, Satan took that and recreated it and gave it to you and called it the law of attraction. So that's to get that confusion out the way. What I'm going to talk to you about is the power of the tongue. Some of y'all are struggling in y'all lives and getting the results y'all are getting in your lives because you are using the power of the tongue to speak death. The more you speak death, the more connected you will be to death. The more you speak life, the more you will be connected to life. If you speak positive things, you will reap positive things. Now, of course, things are going to happen because that's life. It rains on the just as well as the unjust. If you put a good person and a bad person together and they both go outside in the rain and they don't have an umbrella, they gonna get wet, both of them. In this example, I like to give credit to another great YouTuber who introduced me to this system of doing things. His name is PP Drawings, Brother Rodney. He the one that told me about this system. And the system of doing things God's way, it's all written in the Word. It's all written in the Bible. Jesus told the disciples that you can speak to mountains. If you speak to this mountain and tell it to move, and you believe in your heart that it will move and not doubt, it will be moved. See, your words are powerful. Your words can cast spells on people. You got people that speak curses on people because of the power of their tongue. And then you got people that speak blessings into other people's life because of the power of the tongue. Everything revolves around the tongue. When Christ created this world, the physical world, the planet Earth, he spoke creation into existence. He said, "Let there be light." There was light. So you can read that whole first section, that whole first chapter of Genesis, and you will already know that the power of the tongue is what created this world. So, are you connected to life or are you connected to death? You get certain results in life because you caused it to happen. You are in control. When you speak things into existence, you are in control. There is power, and the power is in the life and death. There's power in the tongue. There is power in the tongue. And you control that power. You control that power. That's why we have to be careful of what we say, of what we do, because we reap what we sow. So my question again to all of you that is watching, are you connected to life or are you connected to death? Do you choose to speak life or do you choose to speak death? Shalom. And whatever you get into, if God's not in it, it's best you keep out of it because it's going to come to nothing.